When prophets are born, but their community and family do not recognize their prophetic brilliance. The prophetic glimmer, because their prophetic speech is not neatly packaged for our middle class digestion. Sometimes prophets come from the fields of Mississippi, i.e. Fannie Lou Hamer, or the loving arms of the Southern Black Church, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. There are times when our prejudice keeps us from hearing ghetto prophets who preach a brand of thug theology which keeps us from hearing the truth from their lips because of their coarse language and ragged subject-verb agreement. One such prophet now gone, but whose message speaks to our current condition and in a powerful way to this season, is a gentleman by the name, now gone on, by the name of Tupac Shakur. It is my assessment he is the greatest prophetic contradiction of the last half of the 20th century, the black community birth. As a result of social dislocation was created. He created music caught between the shining heaven of possibility and the hell of socially constructed reality. And neither saint nor demon, but all human. Tupac says in the last half of his brilliant song, Thug Mansions, I know you ain't never heard it, where the song says, "Dear mama, don't you cry, your baby boy's doing good. Tell the homies I'm in heaven, they ain't got hoods. Seen a show with Marvin Gaye last night, it had me shook, drinking peppermint schnapps with Jackie Wilson and Sam Cooke. Then some lady named Billie Holiday sang sitting there kicking it with Malcolm till the day came. Little Tasha, she showed grown. Tell the lady in the liquor store she's forgiven, so come home. Maybe in time you'll understand only God can save us." When Miles Davis cutting loose with the band, just think of all the people that you knew in the past that passed on there in heaven, found peace at last. Picture a place that they exist together, that has to be a place better than this in heaven. So right before I sleep, dear God, what I'm asking, remember this face. Save me a place in Thug's mansions. Remember this face. God is up to something, y'all. He's doing something just outside our spiritual peripheral vision. God, Jesus, has a special soft spot in his heart for thugs. And we previously have dealt with this before, but I believe that there is something here. We as humans birth children into the world, but our society creates thugs. Children are not born thugs. Thugs are made and not born. Now, this is good news for somebody who has a proclivity for ghettoistic conduct. I just made that up. Thuggish behavior is not the natural state of your soul, but a template, a frame, a paradigm designed to keep you living below your destiny, short of your potential, substandard living, and disenfranchised dreams. Please, 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 I know some of you are saying, yes, you're not talking about me, but I'm asking you to shake off your bourgeois paradigms for just a moment and think that I'm talking about your cousin and mama in them. But everybody has some thug proclivities, ghetto tendencies, and some countryfied activities. This is a derivative of country and ghetto. I make this declaration so we can enter into this text honestly, clearly, without a false veneer of religiosity which strangles our ability to see the Holy Spirit. That God is always using thugs to do God's work. Let me break it down so you understand what I'm trying to say. There was a thug I know by the name of Noah who was drinking too much gin and juice and got drunk on the eve of Reconstruction. There's a thug I know was a pimp by the name of Abraham who pimped his own wife. Anytime you go into somebody else's country and say, she's not my wife, it's my sister, you can have her, sounds like pimping to me. There's a thug I know by the name of Jacob. Jacob was a hustler who stole his own brother's birthright. There's a thug I know by the name of Moses. If he got mad, he'd give you a royal beat down, but God said I can use him to liberate my people. There's another thug and player I know by the name of Samson, who went to the wrong barber shop and ended up losing his strength. Or there's that thug, he's the baller, shot caller, and player by the name of David. If ever was a thug, he certainly is one. But you see, he's a man after God's own heart. Don't try to look at me funny right now, because there's some thug in you. Because if the wrong person crosses you, says the wrong thing, all of a sudden the thug comes out of you in the middle of the worship experience. Oh, don't look at me funny. Just sit in your seat one Sunday. See what happens. The thug will rise up in you. Everybody has a little bit of thug in them. But we see here in this text here, I love this because Jesus is on the cross being lynched, Dr. Forbes. He's on the cross between two thugs. The moment of execution, the moment of murder, Jesus, the Son of God, is hanging out with thugs. He's hanging out with people who seem to have the same position, but they all have a different mission. People looking at Jesus and these thugs, they assume based on the condition that they have the same conclusion. But I'm here to let you know, you cannot determine my conclusion by looking at my condition, because my condition is just an outward manifestation of what is happening in my life. But you've got to connect with my internal and eternal connection to understand where my conclusion is going to be. And I'm here to let you know, I know we're going through a condition right now, but this condition is not our conclusion, because we serve a God that's not looking at your outward condition, but is looking at your inward reality. And if your internal reality is connected to an eternal God, you don't care what your external condition is all about, because God can work through your condition and bring you to a new conclusion. So even if people are hating on you and they think that you're about to die, I'm here to let you know that God doesn't care about the condition. God is the one who closes the chapter and will give you a new conclusion. Is there anybody here today? Did somebody look at you and say, you're not going to make it, you're not going to graduate, you're going to lose your mind? If I walk out on you, you won't be able to pay your bills. But look at you now, baby. Look at you several years later. You're still here. Is there anybody here? Do you have a testimony that your condition was not your conclusion? And so we see Jesus at the cross here. Jesus is on the cross, but yet he's in the same position as the other thugs, Dr. Forbes, but yet he has a different mission. You see, people will try to label you because they have you in the same neighborhood as them, and they will assume that you're just like them.